Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us as we cover today's top sports stories. Today on Cronkite Sports Now, the Cardinals say goodbye to longtime owner Bill Bidwill. ASU football coach introduces us to the latest Herm-ism. And we break down what the Arizona Fall League is all about. These stories and more coming your way on Cronkite Sports Now. Hello and happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Claudia Faust. Let's get started. Bill Bidwell's family and friends gathered at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church to say farewell to their patriarch. Cronkite Sports reporter Corey Kirk was at the ceremony yesterday, where the members of Arizona Cardinals and NFL families paid their respects.
It's one of the best services I've attended, and just hearing Michael and Nicole over the years, but really know about the legacy of Dad.
Michael and Nicole are two of Bill Bidwell's 5 children. In his eulogy, Michael recalled how involved his father was in his and his siblings' lives.
Bill Jr. was at Georgetown, and I was at prep. He would take us to dinner and come watch my games. He made every game because he didn't want to miss a single snap when I got a chance to play.
As an owner, Mr. B was known for his selflessness among NFL executives, as someone who put the league's interest above his own.
His love of the league, I was fortunate to be able to work with him for many years, and it was a privilege, and it was certainly an honor to be here today.
Bounded by his faith, those that knew him said Bidwell always tried to help those in need, often without much recognition, something he never sought.
Just a gentleman of quiet dignity who did things the right way all the time and never looked for any attention, was always content to be in the background.
Longtime Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald was always honored to suit up for Mr. B. But Fitz feels lucky to have cultivated a relationship with his team's owner off the field as well.
I know there are many players over the past few years that didn't have the privilege of getting to know Mr. B, and I regret that. You guys really missed out.
In Phoenix, I'm Corey Kirk, Cronkite Sports.
As those in attendance wore Mr. B's signature bow tie look, all eyes were on Father Jim Van Dyke, who described Bidwell's life in 3 words: faith, family, and football. The Cardinals are back on the practice field today getting ready for their home game against Atlanta. Everybody in the organization is feeling good coming off their first win of the year and looking to get their second of the season this Sunday.
I think naturally, guys are excited to get that first win, and it's been a good group, win or lose, as far as showing up and being professional and going back to work. But I think anytime you can get that one done, there's a naturally better feeling in the building.
Coming off a bye week, the Sun Devils are preparing to face Washington State. The 18th-ranked Sun Devils know they're going to face a tough test against the Cougars, who have lost their last 2 games.
Look, they've lost 2 in a row. I mean, that alone makes you, say, hey, look, we want to win a game again. And like I said, this is a very prideful team. A lot of guys are guys that have been there, that have won a lot of games. So, this conference is a conference where if you look at it, probably the last 5 years, I don't know if anybody's gone undefeated on either both sides of it, north or south. You can lose 2 and still have a shot to win your conference, whether it's the South or North. If you lose 3, that's tough. That's tough sledding.
Speaking of ASU football, I've got reporter Brady King here with me to tell me about Herm's latest Herm-ism.
Yeah, so Coach Herm Edwards is known for creating his own slang, referred to as, like you said, Claudia, Herm-isms. And one that's been trending this year is the Mandrake.
Who's Mandrake?
Exactly. That's why I went to Sun Devil Stadium to find out.
Mandrake is powerful, detailed, competitor, dominant, big plays, big games.
For some reason, I saw Jimi Hendrix cover and it had Mandrake on it, right? So you gotta be Mandrake to do this. And they like, who is he? I said, well, he's this guy. I mean, he could do this, he could do that. He's this mystical guy made up in my brain, right? And so I just kind of kept it. I want to give him an award, for being the player of the week for us, as a team. And I said, what would be something kind of good to do? And then, obviously, the Mandrake guy comes up again in my brain. So we created this guy, and then he got, I said, you gotta have a black helmet, you got a shield, you gotta have wings, and Ino's the first offensive player to win it. So it's kind of one of those deals, having fun with it. You know, I'm not too old to have fun.
It's been a goal. People want to get the Mandrake, and so I was definitely honored to be able to wear that jersey this week.
I get it now. So Ino Benjamin was the player of the week most recently, so AKA Mandrake?
Yes, you got it. So Benjamin will be sporting the Mandrake swag at practice this week in front of those HBO cameras as the team prepares for Washington State.
Now we move from the gridiron to the hardwood as the Suns opened preseason play with a hot start last night as they fended off the Timberwolves at home 111-106. Center DeAndre Ayton led the team with 18 points, 2 of which came off this textbook alley-oop from Ricky Rubio. Devin Booker added 15 points, going 4 for 8 from the floor, and 5 assists as the Sun Devils held the Wolves to 8 of 39 from beyond the arc. With a home win in hand, the Suns continue their preseason in Sacramento against the Kings on Thursday. With 2 losses and no points heading into their 3rd game of the season, the Coyotes are a team looking for answers on the ice. But head coach Rick Tocchet is confident that the early bad breaks will even out.
I'm not panicking. We're a good hockey club. You know, these guys worked hard. You know, these are winnable games. You know, we could be it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda, and I don't play that game. But, you know, with a little bit of push here and there for some individuals, we could be 2-0. You know, we need everybody to push a little bit harder. But I thought, generally, the team played hard.
With 82 games in the NHL regular season, the Yotes will have plenty of time to turn things around. They'll start tomorrow against the Vegas Golden Knights at 7 p.m. at Gila River Arena. The Diamondback season may be over, but baseball in the Valley isn't. You can see some of the Snakes' top prospects, as well as top prospects from all of Major League Baseball at Arizona Fall League games. There are 6 teams throughout the Valley. 2 teams are in Scottsdale, and the others are in Glendale, Peoria, Surprise, and Mesa. Each Fall League team has 5 Major League ball clubs affiliated, sending their most promising players to compete against top-level talent. Right now, the Salt River Rafters are in first place in the Fall League East, and the Surprise Saguaros lead in the West. Over the past few weeks, these Arizona teams have actually had the opportunity to play teams from the Mexican Pacific League and the Mexican Baseball Fiesta. Being invited to play in the Fall League is a privilege to these players, and it gives them a chance to learn from coaching staffs from other organizations.
It's a place where you can build relationships, see how other organizations do things, see, talented players from other organizations, and kind of map out on some things that you might need to adjust on, how you really, kind of add up against some of the best players in all of minor league baseball.
One of the biggest Fall League events is happening this Saturday, the Fall Stars game, a showcase of the best of the best. The final Fall League game will be played on October 28th. So you've still got a few more weeks to catch baseball before it's officially off-season for baseball. That does it for today's edition of Cronkite Sports Now. For Arizona sports stories from around the Valley, visit Cronkite Sports tab on arizonasports.com. And as always, for top Arizona news stories, head over to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org. And be sure to tune in tonight at 5 p.m. on Arizona PBS for our nightly newscast. On behalf of the entire Cronkite Sports Now crew, thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place.